Emma. We're on your side with how long it's going to last and when we can expect our next cold blast.
And these cold temperatures are bringing some cool, frosty phenomenon. We explain how frost forms and where these frost flowers come from.
Live on your side. First Alert Weather Extra starts right now.
And welcome into Weather Extra. Tania, we got some rain moving in out there tonight.
Oh yeah, I was driving through it. Little light sprinkles coming down.
Yeah, just light stuff, not too heavy, but enough to where you'll want to take it slow out there tonight.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
I always say nothing's more miserable than a cold rain, right?
Yeah, it's cold and it's a little wet out there. It's going to be the story of the next couple of hours.
Yeah, it's only overnight. Tomorrow we will have the rain moving out. But we got some really cold weather, a lot to talk about right now on Weather Extra. Next big thing, we are tracking those rain showers moving in across the area. Let's get over to First Alert AccuTrack radar, and you can see those showers now spreading into Marion County, parts of Fayette County as well, moving west to east across the area. And also in the Birmingham area, we checked in with Jonathan Hoppy a few moments ago out at the high school championship games, and he was reporting some very light showers, but some of that light rain pushing in around the Birmingham area. But again, wet weather moving in, light rain, cold temperatures. These temperatures will level off into the 40s tonight. So very cold conditions. Tomorrow night, we've got a hard freeze. So the freezing temperatures won't stay away for too long. Be ready tomorrow night. We go even colder. We're talking about lows around 21 degrees. A lot of our weather watchers checked in with temperatures around 24, 21 today for morning lows. We could go even colder, maybe seeing some teens there early. Wind chills possibly in the single digits. And then next week actually looks like a rainy setup. Starts Sunday, continues throughout the week, off and on rainfall that we're going to be tracking. But tomorrow, plan for a cold day. I know we got a little rain tonight. As I mentioned, the rain moves out. We'll even have some sunshine coming back tomorrow, but temperatures, look at that, only in the 40s for highs. And then you throw this into the mix, a northwest wind tomorrow at about 10 to 15. It is going to feel much colder. So that's the next big thing we're going to be talking about, that hard freeze coming up. Of course, we'll talk a lot more about the weekend and what's on the way for next week coming up in the extended forecast.
And as we continue to see those low temperatures as we head into the weekend, how exactly does frost form from these cold conditions? Well, meteorologist Lauren Linehan joins us now with the weather lowdown on frost formation.
Well, with this abnormally cold start to meteorological winter, you probably have been noticing a lot of mornings recently, some frost developing, and sometimes that frost can even look really cool. Before we show you some cool frost photos we've been getting in from you all at home, we just kind of want to give you that weather lowdown on how frost actually forms. So let's think about it. During the day, the sun heats up the earth. We get that solar radiation, and that allows us to live here on this planet. And so typically what happens is, let's talk about the morning hours. Temperature, when the temperature gets down to 32 degrees, you can have moisture forming even at freezing. But let's say the air just above the surface during the day is at 63 degrees. It's not too bad, right? Feels pretty good when it's in the 60s. It feels like it's been a while since that's happened. But overnight, what happens is the earth begins to cool off. And when the earth cools off, all of that radiation that it absorbed earlier in the day, that solar radiation, actually escapes back to space. So especially when you have a night when you've got clear skies and calm winds, when you have calm winds, the air isn't able to mix. So you have what is called radiational cooling. And oftentimes these are prime conditions for frost to form. So overnight, instead of it being 63 degrees, it can get down to 33 degrees, that air just above the surface. So how does frost form? Well, there actually is some moisture in the air, and cooling actually forces moisture on the ground. So when temperatures fall to freezing, that moisture that is near the ground freezes, and that's when you can get frost to develop. And what happens is, okay, you have the ground at 30 degrees, and also right above the surface, you can get the ground at, or right above the surface, the air can be at 30 degrees. So you have that moisture, and that moisture, because it is at freezing, turns into frost, that little layer of ice that we can see. But sometimes we can see some really unusual frost formations, like Frost flowers. No, we're not suddenly seeing frost sprouting out of the ground, but it's kind of happening that way, right? This can actually happen on cold mornings when frost develops, and it all has to do with the water that is stored inside of plants. So yes, sometimes we can get frost on our plants, but if you have a situation like here on the ground, you have the capillaries within inside of a plant, and the water that is stored in those capillaries, like any type of water, when it freezes, it expands. And when it expands, you can get these formations to form around the stems of the plant. So I know it almost looks like a little ball of cotton, but we actually like to call these frost flowers because they do stem, quite literally, from plants that you can see sometimes on the ground. So you know the drill, guys. The next cold morning that we see, which is just around the corner, first alert for that on Friday morning. Make sure you submit any cool photos you see of frost or just the hard freeze on the WBRC First Alert weather app.
And listen, we are not the only ones continuing to see these frost conditions. A new winter storm is setting up to bring dangerous winds and, get this, potential blizzard conditions from the upper Midwest all the way to the Northeast. This comes after they were just impacted from a lake effect snowstorm just last week. First Alert AccuTrack showing the areas that are going to be impacted from this system, which is formerly known as the Alberta Clipper. And Chief Meteorologist Wes White explains what exactly an Alberta Clipper is and how it impacts these areas the greatest.
Yeah, we were talking, Tania, earlier this week about the Clipper system. It actually brought some snow to Tennessee. We see these, it's actually just simply a low pressure system that originates in the Alberta province of Canada. And when we get into these patterns where you have a big upper air trough over the eastern U.S., these systems, they quickly drop south, and sometimes they can squeeze out some precipitation for us, but especially across the Great Lakes region, because it actually, what happens is it brings that proper wind direction. The wind needs to be a certain direction over the lakes for that lake effect snow to happen, and it lines everything up perfectly for those heavy lake effect snow bands. But most of the time, once these reach our area, we see a lot of snow across Tennessee sometimes, but not this far south. But on occasion, they can generate some light snow. I remember one time we had one of these that dropped in and actually produced some accumulating snow during the day. One time it was cold enough for snow. But the Alberta Clippers, we see those a lot, again, mostly this time of the year once we get in a more active jet stream pattern. But we'll be talking a lot more, though, about a more active setup for us going into the weekend, and next week could generate quite a bit of rainfall. And in just 30 seconds, we're gearing up for some football as we head into the Super 7 playoffs. We're on your side with what you can expect as you head to the games. And also, if you're doing some Christmas shopping, we'll see you after the break. All right, time to check in with our network of weather watchers across the state of Alabama, and I selected some reports just to show you some of those low temperatures. As Lauren noted, it was cold enough. When you see those little frost flower type phenomena that develop, really cold morning across Alabama. Low 20s out there in Galesville. Tommy Stallings at 21 degrees, and Moody Edwin Argo reported 24, 26 in Northport from Bud Bean, 21 from William Clark and Smoke Rise. But cold, freezing conditions, definitely our coldest morning so far this season, and we're actually going to see colder conditions tomorrow night, so plan for that. Wouldn't shock me if we had some single-digit wind chills for the first time this season, especially for areas to the north. So a big first alert to bundle up here once we go into tomorrow and tomorrow night. More of that Arctic air continuing to impact the country, and of course with all that snowpack across the country, that also adds to the big chill. But we'll talk a lot more about the colder weather coming up. But for those getting ready to head to Protective Stadium this week, meteorologist Matt Daniel brings you the Weather Extra on what you can expect and if you'll need to bundle up as you prepare to cheer on your team.
Hey, we've got some championships to talk about at Protective Stadium. Already happened earlier today. We got another one happening soon. And then, of course, Thursday into Friday. So we're going to get you prepared for it. We're looking at some chilly temperatures. So if you're going out tomorrow, I think the rain will be out of here, but it's going to be breezy and turning very cold. So be prepared for that. get your winter gear. You're going to need your jacket, the gloves, sweater, anything that's going to keep you warm. Those warm hand warmers you can get. Might mainly recommend that. And then as we go into Thursday afternoon, especially into Friday, recommend those sunglasses. We should see plenty of sunshine, but once again, still very chilly. So let's go ahead and talk about the forecast going into this evening. Of course, starting off with some clouds. We're in the 40s. We could see some showers by the end of that game. That's going to be starting up very soon at 7 o'clock. As we go into tomorrow, like I said, the rain should be out of here, decreasing clouds, but it's going to be very breezy and temperatures are going to be dropping. So our high temperature may start at 11 o'clock in the mid 40s, but by 3 p.m. we're dropping into the lower 40s and then easily in the 30s by 7 and 10. It is going to be very cold, and the wind chill, that's going to be a big factor for you Thursday evening. Could feel like it's in the 20s by 7 o'clock and already feeling like it's in the teens by 10 p.m. So definitely want to wear layers. Try to cover yourself up if you can, if you're going to be supporting some of those, all the football players there. And then for the championships for Friday, lots of sunshine. The winds will start to calm down, so that will be beneficial, but it is going to be chilly. Lower 40s, maybe some upper 30s around 11 o'clock. And only warming up into the mid 40s and back into the 30s Friday evening. So best of luck to all the football players out there, and stay warm.
Oh yeah, and not only do we have to talk about football, we also need to talk about some shopping. So some of you might have made some shopping plans for the weekend. Let's go through that weekend forecast. As you can see here, well, we have both Saturday and Sunday to talk about. Sunday's the day that we'll see a little bit of wet weather around, so you're going to want to grab that rain jacket and umbrella. We'll see increasing rain chances as we approach Sunday night. Temperatures mild in the 40s both Saturday and Sunday, just around those peak hours of the day. We'll see highs maybe close to 50 degrees for the weekend. But here's a quick look at that decorating forecast. So we're giving you the thumbs up Thursday, Friday, and for the weekend, but thumbs down early next week. And of course, giving you that thumbs down for tonight with that increasing rain chance. Plus it's too dark, so just avoid that right now. But for the weekend, if you want to do some Christmas decorating outdoors, you can do so. It will be drier, but we do have those rain chances returning Sunday night and into early next week, Monday and into Tuesday. Well, don't go anywhere. We're heading back to the zoo as we continue to find out how our furry friends stay warm. And we talk about those chilly temperatures as we start off your Friday. We'll be right back.
And welcome back into First Alert Weather Extra. Some light showers starting to spread in from west to east across the area. Seeing some light rain happening right now. More of this to come tonight. We'll see these light showers, temperatures in the 40s. So this will be all liquid precipitation, but you can see some rain around Double Springs. Also a few showers tracking near Berry and Oatman and Walker County, just south of Jasper, and also into Birmingham and back in towards Vestavia. Seeing some of that light rain. Let's go in a little bit closer here. And now pushing into Shelby County, Chelsea, Westover, Harpersville. Our friends there picking up some rain. Childersburg just starting to see some of those light sprinkles. Pell City and Lincoln maybe soon we'll catch some of this rain. You can see not too far there from the shops of Grand River there around Leeds. Back to the west though, see this is what's coming. We've got a lot of this big area of rain that's going to move across. It's mostly light rain. You look at this and it looks like there might be some heavier pockets of rainfall, but that's not happening. That's what you're seeing is a little bit of bright banding with the radar, but this is going to move in and the overnight temperatures tumble into the 40s. But look what's coming. I want to show you this. Look to the north. Next Arctic blast dropping south. These are wind chills. Look at that wind chill over Minnesota. Negative 24 degrees Fahrenheit right now. Unreal. That cold air is going to drop south. We'll get a taste of it again tomorrow night. Temperatures down into the low 20s by early Friday morning. So let's talk about the next 24 hours. And again, it's mostly a cold rain tonight, and a lot of this gets out of here fairly quickly. I think by 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, it's moving on out, but the cold weather stays. And during the day, we'll have 40s tonight. We stay in the 40s throughout the day tomorrow, but we will have a little bit of sun. Notice some clearing. Tania was showing that earlier. It looks like we are going to see the models are really locking in on some sunshine coming back, but those arrows out of the north, that's symbolizing that north flow, that cold air spilling back into the state. So we'll have a north wind adding to the chill. Even though you see 40s, it's going to feel like upper 30s during the afternoon. So plan on hanging on to the jacket. Friday morning, hard freeze, temperatures down in the low 20s, and a chance that we'll see some teens on the map early in the day. So again, several hours tomorrow night below freezing. We'll start the weekend below freezing, but Saturday we start to warm up. We'll have highs in the 50s, same on Sunday. Now it looks like most of the weekend will be dry, but a soggy setup coming up as we go into next week. I'm seeing more of an active west to southwest flow aloft, and what that's going to do is transport in. We're going to see a wave of rain on Monday, and then it looks like another chance of wet weather coming in around Wednesday and Thursday. So there's Monday at 9 a.m. Good chance for showers, and then you can see as we go into Tuesday, we could see some rain coming back, but certainly if this wet weather holds off Tuesday, Wednesday certainly looks like another good chance for rain building in. So plan for higher rain chances, not just Monday, and look at that, this may end with a few wet snowflakes perhaps across far north Alabama as that colder air flows in once again. But tonight, we do stay above freezing. In the 10-day forecast, again, you can see rain comes back by Monday, a rainy day, and then a good chance of rain for Wednesday and into Thursday of next week, and it looks like highs back in the 60s to start next week. But quite a few changes on the way, but happening above the atmosphere. The Geminid meteor shower, it is about to peak. It's been across the night sky since early November, but you'll be able to catch them all the night on December the 13th. We just need some cloud-free conditions. It's actually the 13th and 14th. Could see over 100 meteors visible per hour. You simply just look up during these events. They'll start mid-evening and will be at the highest around 2 a.m. So be sure to catch it in places where there isn't a lot of light contamination, and remember to submit it if you capture a good picture, if you're able to do so, through our First Alert Weather app for a chance to be featured right here on First Alert Weather Extra. All right, we're bringing it back to earth now, where we visited some of our junior weather watchers. Meteorologist Shinty Rodriguez spoke with Homeschool Group today at the public library, and they had a great time. We certainly want to thank Shinty and all the students for inviting us. She was able to speak with them about being a meteorologist, weather safety, and even read meteorologist Tania Michelle's weather book. And I'm looking forward to visiting Carbon Hill tomorrow. Carbon Hill Elementary School. Look out, Walker County. It's time for junior weather watchers and teachers. By the way, if you go to our website, easy to sign up for a weather visit. Weather in the classroom. Weather in the classroom.
We'd love to have all of our kiddos learning about the weather, and it gives us a chance to just talk a little bit about ourselves.
There you go.
Well, here we are taking you beyond the 7-day. As you see, we are going to still be seeing some cold conditions closer to the middle of December. temperature. We still have some cold air masses moving through. This is December 12th, 8 a.m. You can see that there are some low 30s on the map, maybe even some mid and upper 30s across the area. Still really, really cold. And I'm seeing some below freezing temperatures December the 13th, one of the nights that you could see the meteor showers. So just give you that first alert. It could be very chilly out there early that Friday morning, 5 a.m. Seeing some temperatures down in the low 30s. Again, this is beyond the 7 days, so we're still looking closer to 10, 14 days out from now. As we look ahead, December the 17th, 6 a.m. Pretty cold, but not as bad. We're seeing some morning temperatures in the 40s by then, so we could be seeing more near average temperatures very soon. And speaking of near average temperatures, that's what our outlook is showing us. December 10th to December 14th across the southeast and really central Alabama, near average conditions. As far as precipitation, some portions of central Alabama, mainly south and east, could be seeing above average rainfall, whereas other of us might see a little rain, but more average at this time of the year. But now we are heading back to the zoo with meteorologist Megan Thomas as she continues to learn how the animals keep warm during these very cold days.
We're joined with Scott, who is the manager of the Predator Department, and we've been talking about animals that really get into the cold atmospheres, right? Like the cold air that settles in here in Alabama. And what do these guys do, the red pandas do, when it gets cold out?
Well, they are a cold climate species with their natural history. They are found in the Himalayan lowlands in Central Asia, where it is very cold. That is their preference. They have those nice thick fur coats that help them stay warm, and actually the pads on the bottom of their feet are actually covered in fur, not like paw pads like you might think of your cat or dog having at home. So they thrive in this cold environment. Actually, during the summer, we had to make sure that they have AC constantly. This time of year, we can just open up the top of their habitat, let them get that natural cold air that we're experiencing right now.
I was going to say, so I noticed inside their habitat, I mean, they are enclosed and there's two of them. And how do you get them to make it feel like they are a part of the elements?
So like I said, yes, they do have an open air top for their habitat. So we keep that closed in the summer. We want to keep them nice and cool and comfortable. Anything over 75 is considered a bit too warm for a red panda. But right now we open that up, give them that natural air. Obviously, they're very arboreal animals, so we have a lot of propping in there so they can climb around. We make sure they have adequate bedding as well to keep them nice and comfy.
Very cool. Now, you are in the same Predator Department, and I noticed the lion is outside.
Yes.
What do you do with him?
Yes. So, yeah, you think of an African lion, you think of warm savanna. So we actually do give him the option to go inside. He has a nice climate-controlled space that he has access to. So right now he does have the option to go inside where it's nice and warm, but we found that Josh actually tends to prefer to be outside when he has the option.
His name is Josh.
His name is Josh, yes.
That wasn't the name I was expecting for a huge lion, but Josh suits him well.
Yeah, he does have a very human name
Yes.
for a lion.
Very cool. So I love the Predator Department, and of course the red pandas are something special. I really love what y'all are doing here at the zoo, keeping the animals in the habitats that they enjoy and like, and of course keeping them warm when it gets cold out. So thank you,
For
Scott.
sure, yeah, thank you.
I'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
Well, we'll be right back with a final check of your weather, and we're going to take a look at your awesome viewer photos. So don't go anywhere. You're watching First Alert Weather Extra. Stay with us.
And welcome back into Weather Extra. Lovely view here from Ryan Carty sharing a nice little sunset from Birmingport. A lot of weather app photos that you've been sharing with us. Rodney Frazier sharing this was actually a Saturday sunrise in Gatlinburg. And Gary Ernest also sharing a nice photo of Venus and the moon over Cleveland, Alabama. That was last night. We've had some great sky watching conditions, Tania.
We really have. Oh my goodness, that is so beautiful. And we have one more photo to show you. This one is from Pat Lohman out in Center, Alabama. It's either a sunrise or a sunset, but absolutely beautiful. It looks like the ground is a shadow to the sky. It's super cool.
Super cool. We've had some great photos on the weather app. If you can brave the cold weather, right?
Exactly.
Go ahead and take a photo.
Take it from your window.
There you go. Hey, tonight though, some rain coming back, light showers. That will move out early tomorrow. Highs only in the 40s. Again, Friday morning, some more dangerous cold out there. We're talking about a hard freeze.
Oh yeah, down in the 20s. I'm not ready, but my coats get to be used.
Yeah, and guess where she's been? Arizona.
And it was warm. We're talking highs in the 70s, lows in the 50s.
Bring some of that back.
I tried. It didn't want to come. I'm sorry, I couldn't help y'all this time.
All right, hey, lots of radar updates and more. We'll see you back